games, but these seem like regular chess games, so no crazy house games between them. And we have a d4 e5 sacrifice by littleplotkin, and the idea is that you go quickly for bishop g4 and then maybe opt to take this back, or just get quick development and give white a few pawns. But yeah, I think objectively this should be okay for white, but there are some tricks you have to deal with. So probably pawn at d2 is a good, or pawn at d4 is a good move here. And now maybe some bishop b5, queen e2 ideas. Black will try to pressure g3. So it could also be bishop at g3 here. But king f8. Yeah, blocking is not a good idea basically, because then you allow a lot of play on d7. So you just move to f8 and say, well, okay, you don't have any pawns in hand, so you won't attack me here on h6. Okay, now he's threatening to take here on f6, and if you take back with the queen, there's knight at d7. But Plotkin is just ignoring that. Maybe he plans to take back with the pawn. But then again, that might have been a good idea to go for anyway. But okay, he opts to, dampooo opts to first get this safe pawn structure. Still has this threat of taking on f6. And going knight at d7. Okay, I think c3 now is okay. Preserve the pawn in hand. King f1 might run into knight takes. But probably you can just take the queen. Yeah, knight takes, just take the queen. And if knight takes g3, you can just take and run, I guess. Well, maybe. Let's see, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes g3, f takes, knight at e3. King e2 then. Okay, then you're safe. Because you're threatening mate. So then you can pick up this knight even with your king. I hope you can all follow that on. Okay, you take. He decides to sacrifice the queen. So dampooo has a nice position now, I'd say. Yeah, just take back the knight. You might have been able to take this actually. To go queen at e8 and knight at d7 ideas, but maybe there was just king e7 defending. Now bishop at g3. If you take, there's pawn at f2, knight takes e4 ideas. Like this, pawn at f2 and knight takes e4. So what to do? Thanks for the follow, Miss Fairy Queen. Okay, he decides to take. Maybe he wants to go king h2. Oh, he's just saying, okay, I'll allow this, but this is scary because you have to run to e3, and now there might be some cat-esque, and thanks for the follow, Lucas Raakt. Now I was saying now there might be some bishop at d2 ideas. this should not be possible, I feel. But maybe he can run to d3. That's his idea. Pawn c4 seems like a good try. You have to take with the king. Knight at b6. King back. And then you're just a few pawns short. Okay, so that's not cutting it for black. Knight at e5 maybe. Oh, knight at e5 seemed almost mating. And now, okay, bishop at h6. I think you should start it with pawn at e7 there to lure the knight away. And then there may have been some queen sacrifice here. Okay, now we'll see this knight at b6 idea. Knight at b6, if the king runs here, there's pawn here, take, and then pawn here, and pawn at b4, mating. But okay, the king can run back to d3. Yeah, he spots it. This idea was there before, but there were too little pawns, too few pawns. Okay, well played. Very interesting game, first game. A lot of ideas already. Yeah, all right. I'll leave the analysis. I'll just keep up with the live play because that's, I think, is most interesting now, and maybe afterwards there will be analysis of this game available immediately, or you can look at the games yourself. Okay, so next game. Dampooo goes for this g6 bishop g7 system, where you allow a quick bishop takes f7, but you say, okay, I'll try to defend that. Let me quickly explain the point of not taking here. Knight g5, and if king f6, d4 is very good. So you cannot take there basically, and if you take with the king, knight g5 comes as well, followed by d4, same idea. But now queen f3, and well, black wants to go knight d4, knight takes e6 to clean up, and white may try to get some play where he can try to, in white's ideal world, he would put a pawn on f7, go knight h4, and take on g7 and take on g6. Take on h7, I mean. But that's not possible because black is too soon with knight d4. So probably queen f3 was a bit of a loose move. Knight at b3. Don't really know what knight at b3 is. Dampooo getting another good position here, I think. Plotkin figuring out if he should take back. Oh, I don't know if bishop takes c3. I think knight at h4 first, for example, is interesting. But okay, bishop takes c3 played, bishop d2 takes. And now you have to go. Now you give black white some sort of control over the light squares. Knight at b3, he wants to go later to d4. And now watch out for knight takes e6 and threats on the dark squares. So, okay, bishop at f6 defends nicely, but another bishop on the dark squares is coming. So knight g4, maybe goes h5 next. There might be some tactic here with knight at h3 and taking on d4 and then knight at h3. But okay, it might not have worked. There were a lot of pieces that could have been forked on either of these squares. Still possible. Now with bishop at f3, there's some sort of safety for Plotkin. So I guess take here and go knight e5 is okay. Or just knight at e5. I don't know which one is better. He just moves the knight, okay. Also possible. Preserving knight in hand. If you take here, there might be queen b4, grabbing some material, but you leave your king a bit undefended. Okay, so he goes for knight c5, leaves the king here. But now... yeah, okay, defend, but now there might be some... I was also thinking about just sacking the queen. You could do that now, maybe. Bishop at h3. Seems interesting. This could be alright as well. F4 was probably also a good reaction on bishop at h3. The queens open up. There's no fork left. But bishop at b6 might be opening too much. As well as just taking, because if you take, there's knight e2. Taking the rook. I think you can take the rook and go bishop at e5. And then next there's also knight takes b3 and opening up this one. But you have to watch out for pawn at h6 ideas as well. But dampooo finds a nice way to harass the queen and to pick up the rook as a whole piece and not trade it for this knight. And with the knight still on e2, there are also ideas of knight at f2 checkmating, since the knight on e2 is covering. So that means that the queen has to cover f2 for a few more moves. So this is looking to go dampoo's way. Okay, so what happened? Plotkin has created some sort of counterplay here on f6. I was just slightly distracted. Sorry about that. And dampooo has made this a little bit awkward for himself. Move, move, move. Yeah, okay, he's moving. He's giving up the queen though, and there's not an attack just yet. threatening mate in a few moves with queen at d7 and knight at c4. Yeah, timeout. Let's quickly see what happened. Next game already happening, alright. So, Plotkin on 2-0. Could have been 2-0 for dampooo as well. He got a very nice position. First few games. Okay, Plotkin pre-moving with an increment. It's always dangerous. But so far it's working out. c4. That's a chess-like move. c4. But in Crazyhouse it's usually the playing of the c-pawn is delayed a bit because it creates weaknesses on d3, as you can see now. And it's okay. It's not that bad already. For example, knight f4 should be okay, but then the bishop moves back and this diagonal is a bit exposed. And also yeah, this runs into bishop at a4. I felt like would be good there. Pawn c2, bishop at a4, picking it up. My bishop at b5 might have been awkward. And then you just take the bishop and take... Maybe it was just okay to go like this, to sack the rook. It looked like if the bishop b5 idea, there's this hole on d3 again where you can put a new bishop and be very annoying. So okay, sacrificing the rook seemed practical. Plotkin playing very quickly as predicted. He's still on 3 minutes and 2 seconds, which is the starting time. So on average he hasn't used more than a few seconds per move. And dampooo feeling the pressure. Pawn here. This is a ballsy move. Your back rank is very weak, but it might just be okay. Plotkin offering the queen trade, that's seems like a good idea. If you take here, you can just take the queen. I think. There might be some queen sacrifice followed by pawn at e7. Let's see, queen takes e6, queen takes f8, pawn at e7, knight at c8. Because knight at e7, this is not enough, because there's rook at d1. You can go bishop at g8, I think. But now maybe you can take the queen. Maybe it's just enough. Take queen, rook at b1, bishop at c1, and you're defended. I'm guessing dampooo is also thinking about sacrificing here. Could be possible as well. Take bishop here, yeah, and then bishop at f8. Yeah, he has found a way. Because now the king cannot turn back and there's h4. And these knights are covering this also very nicely. So knight f4, h4. And mate in a few moves. G3, h4 as well, possible. Oh, he wasted the pawn. Oh, what did you do? Oh, he's found. Knight takes g8. Okay, that's nice. dampooo. Yeah, Plotkin was just a just a little bit down, but dampooo, nice find. Nice queen sacrifice on g7. Plotkin just playing a bit too fast there, I believe. And dampooo is on the board, so 2-1. And just for those watching who don't know the format, it's first to 5.5 points, and if tied at 5, there will be 2 games tie break. So, and if one player is still not ahead, then another 2 games. So basically a sort of tennis system. Okay, so we see again this g6 h6 idea from dampooo. Plotkin has some nice development, a strong center. And dampooo is now trying to be the first one to strike here at g2. I think castling or queen e2 would have been fine as well. Because if you take here, there's only one pawn on h3, so that should be okay. More concerning is the fact that this knight will come to f4, and then the bishop opens up, the dark squares are weakened. So yeah, what to do here, maybe bishop d7, try to trade this piece. It's an idea. Okay, he goes g5. He really wants to get in on the dark squares, and he's thinking, well, okay, f5 is sufficiently covered. Yeah, and maybe even knight f4 was possible, as well as Legion was pointing out in the chat. Yeah, I was seeing this as well. Just to, he has knight f4, takes, and then you take here. But there is no check on e2. And also you can just take the knight on h4. But alright, let's move on. And knight f4 happened, e takes f4. Knight at e6, nice. Opening up, offering a queen trade. But now there might be some way to profit from this. Let's see, knight at h3 takes. Take the queen. And then bishop at d4 may have been interesting. But okay. We don't see that, we just see bishop at d4, which is a completely safe move. Bishop can take back on e6, you can think about yeah, and bishop at e3 was suggested in the chat here, I guess. It's tough, because you're scared of getting mated, but maybe there was no mate. But this bishop at d4 seemed also like a fine way to continue, and also a very safe way. Don't sack the knight, because knight g6 is very annoying. You could have gone take c3 as well. But now you're just winning the queen if you want to. Now knight f2 wins if you don't get mated, so you have to check if you get mated. And there's also knight at g3, maybe. What is Plotkin's idea? I don't see it. What does he want? Yeah, he needs another rook. Rook at g8 would have been nice, for example. But he doesn't have another rook in hand. And now he's just busted. Maybe rook at f7. That should be that's his only chance basically. Rook at f7, take here. But you need to. He has found something. Maybe. Yeah, he has found something. This is nice. Yeah, if you block with the rook, you take the rook and there's rook at g7. So you had to take this bishop and now some bishop at f7. Ideas arise. He takes this first. Let's see. Knight at g7 maybe. Yeah, if you can take this pawn, I think it's over. So you have to go knight at g7. And then figure out what's next, I'd say. Ooh, I think en passant would have been much more safe there. Bishop at d7, blocking off the queen at least. But yeah, black has enough material, so if there's no check, that it should be made. Knight e4, knight d3, yeah, that's mate. Or knight at e4 as well. I guess he sees something. King e5, knight d3, king d4. The king runs to e3. So knight c4 then. King d4. Knight e2. And the king can run back to d5. Wow. At least it's a draw, so you can. But this knight back, you can run to this square. Wow, this is so tough. But at least there's a draw. And there's still a draw. Oh, he takes this. He wants to win. Queen at f1 was won in 2 moves. But this is winning also. He should have taken the draw. Yeah, he should have taken a draw. Wow. I think dampooo had a plotkin missed a couple of mates there, for sure. The computer will show that, but I think dampooo also missed a nice opportunity. Okay. But moving on, 2-2. So after the first 2 games where dampooo also had chances, he now takes 2 games of littleplotkin. And well, if you look at the ratings, that's not to be expected. So yeah, nice. This will be a 10th match. And we see the setup, which I also like to play against this d4 systems with bishop b7. I like to do that sometimes as well, because you have some nice scope with the bishop against this bishop. Even if this bishop is on d3, you can get in on g2. So there's some rerouting going on with this knight, attacking f4, leaving the bishop on f8 and going h5, and dampooo reacting with h4. So creative opening play. This is a blunder, losing the queen. Luckily in Crazyhouse it's not that bad losing the queen. The problematic thing, however, is that white has nothing to show for it just yet. Just to show, if you step aside, there's knight takes c2 and taking here, which is probably worse, so I think you should sacrifice the queen. So bishop d2 here is just unnecessary. You can just allow this basically. But alright. Dampooo taking a lot of time for that move. He takes with the c pawn, that's wise. This pawn needs to stay here. Okay, watch out for bishop takes f3 and queen at the h2 mate. So e4, blocking this off. Same threat, or same sort of threat. You could try maybe knight at h2 to block this, but it's not very mobile to play knight at h2. It's okay. The bishop moves back to the square it came from, that started all this. And if you can come out of this as white, it's not even so bad, as long as you don't get into an immediate danger. You can maybe try to get in a position where you can win the queen back or attack with the minor pieces you gained. Okay, now it's getting annoying and virtually in cover, not to be covered anymore. So bishop at h2 only move, yeah. But now all the defenders gets removed. There's a rook at the rook takes h4. There's mate in a few moves threatened. So yeah, knight at g1, but I suspect the rook takes here was winning already, but will be winning. Okay, queen at h1. Bishop at f3 is very clean as well. Thanks for the follow, Hammer. Okay, littleplotkin on 3-2. And he played a good game last game. He may have underestimated it a bit and dialed up his game now. He's now going for a different style against after not pawn e6, pawn at e6, since dampooo had a good response. So now going straight for g7, e5, trying to take this knight, and then maybe go knight e4. Pawn at g5 should be good enough, I think. But he might be scared of pawn at d2. But I think you just sidestep and that should be fine. Because yeah, there might be pawn at h3, but the threats you have are just too big. And there's even another pawn in hand for black now. And now black is threatening bishop at h6, knight f7, take the queen, or take this one. Okay, so this covers for now, but now there's a new threat of bishop at h6, knight e6 mating, or being very dangerous, at least. Not mating yet, because you have g5 and king g6. So, yeah, that's just really rough for black, it seems. Okay, bishop at c4 is a nice try. Defending as well as attacking, but pawn at d3 seems appropriate. I don't know if taking back is necessary, but alright, he went for it, because he thinks bishop at d2 is fine. So what is he doing? He's allowing way too much. Ah, queen takes d2. Okay, I missed queen takes d2. Trade is fine for white. Only pawns in hand. So you have to avoid the queen trade basically as white, as black, I mean, as well as staying alive, which seems like an impossible task. So I think this is going to Plotkin as well. Yeah, dampooo trying to figure something out, but Plotkin burning a pawn on h6 first, but the extra pawn doesn't really help black, so it's fine. And he's now threatening a lot of mates, so dampooo resigns. Okay, 4-2. So if you follow this scoreline, dampooo should win next two. But I feel like Plotkin is switched gears these last two games. Okay, knight b4, e6. You might consider bishop g5 here. Okay, so he went for this other bishop c4 idea where you go pawn at e6 maybe, or pawn at e5. Queen e7 is always a useful move in these, or most of the times a useful move, especially if no knight can jump to d5 and f5 as well. Yeah, so pawn here to be expected. Plotkin pre-moves d6. I feel like it was a pre-move. And if Plotkin gets okay positions and still has time on the clock, then this will go his way quickly. Yeah, you have to try bishop g5 here, I feel. Yeah, maybe he wants to go rook e1, but now bishop takes f2. Yeah, this is just basic stuff, I'd almost say. Knight at g4, king f1, knight takes h2, trouble. Main idea is of course here pawn at f2 and game over. So you have to go king f1, knight takes h2, pawn comes anyway, and then the other knight comes to g4, and then you will be forced to go to g1 since this knight is covering f1. There was even pawn at g3, pawn at f2. And now it's just checkmate. Sack block on the blocker. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's a bit sad. That's a bit too easy for little Plotkin. So 5-2. Plotkin needs a draw basically. So if he had drawn this game where he failed to find checkmate but had a draw at some stage, he would be fine, but okay, still 3 chances to win this. And we have an e4, e5 game. Dampooo deciding what to play. E takes d4. And Plotkin opting again for this very quick sacrifice. And well, black may try knight h4 or try to gain some sort of attack over there, but yeah, queen h5 already being annoying. You can't really block it because then you lose here on h8 material. And if you step back, knight at g6 is coming. So not spotting this is already losing almost. Because not only losing the rook against the knight, but there's also pawn at h7, which will result in even more material losses. So for example, takes f5, pawn at h7. What you gonna do? Okay, knight at f7 runs into this, yeah. That's an easy queen sacrifice to make. You're not threatened in any way at home, and you're just gaining a lot of material back for the queen, and as well as mate threats. You have pawn at h7 here, and rook at g8 is a mating idea. Taking here is also possible to gain some more material. Your attack is then a bit dead, but that's not that important then anymore. Feel like you could have sacrificed the pawn here as well, but maybe this is more secure. It reserves an extra pawn in hand. Black may try queen at b4. Just maybe. He's trying knight here, threatening checkmate. That's also a good try, because now Plotkin has to be on the lookout. Okay, if castles, then Plotkin has found nothing, so then pawn at e2 should be possible. Sacrificing Legion Destroyer, saying rook at h5. But yeah, you have to block with the queen. Alright, if you block with the knight, rook takes h6. Nice find. Plotkin, you can. In previous games, you also find this nice idea where only a rook and a queen were in hand. It was actually the game where he missed mate. And if king here, pawn at h7. If king here, pawn at h7 and king back. That could be okay. And if takes here, just run to d7. Or run to g8. Could also be okay. Okay, but now an extra pawn in hand. Rook at d1. Is that enough? Or pawn at d2. Ah yeah, queen at d2. No rook to block. Okay, dampooo strikes back 5-3. So still not over. And another d4 game. And Plotkin going for d6 and knight c6. And this bishop g4 ideas. He's trying to go for a quick e5. Hey Hercules, welcome. Good to see you live in the chat. So yeah, now e5 coming because take, queen trades, queen d1 ideas. Hey, okay. But yeah, d5 possible. Bishop g5 now maybe. Maybe bishop g5 or bishop g3. Yeah, this, I guess d5 just, or pawn at d5 even, so he maintains this block of pawns containing the scope of the bishops. Rook at h5 was rook at h5 was losing for white. Okay. Legion Destroyer is just pointing out the computer evaluation in the chat. Okay, so queen e7, as pointed out before, most of the time is useful. And now it's asking white what to do. And well, there are some ideas of bishop at e4 now coming in. I was also going to say bishop at c4 trades and bishop at b5 is also interesting. But this is just looking fine as well. Pawn b7, just sidestep. Or sidestep to d8. But now you have to deal with knight at a8. Checkmating in 1. Probably bishop g4 is fine. Or bishop f5. Maybe bishop g4 was even stronger. attacking this knight, creating opportunities. Was looking at c7 and taking on. Oh, was looking at c6 and then taking on c7. So dampooo finds a nice way to get out of trouble. But now he might contemplate knight takes f5 and queen takes c6. Okay, rook g1. Yeah, I don't think it was mating already. Thanks for the follow, stat shot. You could try queen takes c6, takes. Looks fine, but black can defend, of course, after that. Now he's just going after this bishop. And it would be nice to get an extra piece, because then you could put a piece on c8, for example. Yeah, he's going for that, but now castles is just in time. You have to castle yourself here. Watch out for knight at f3. dampooo playing well under time pressure. But here you see the advantages of Plotkin's fast play. He can figure out the defense here. Queen d5, maybe. No, not queen d5. You have to block here. Then rook f1. It seems like dampooo was holding everything together, but 3 seconds, living on the increment. And probably just taking here. Rook at f1, yeah, timeout. And now rook at e1 is necessary. There might have been some knight f3 ideas. Okay, 6-3. Plotkin takes it home. This is basically the story of the match, also a bit, where Plotkin has a lot of time and dampooo is just out of time. He got a few good positions earlier on, even in game 1 and 2, but after dampooo striked this game and Plotkin failed to mate game 4, he was just on fire in 3 games in a row, and dampooo, he got a shot back, but on 5-2 it was just too much. Yeah, this is a nice comment by dampooo in the spectator room, where he played better than expected, but he missed some chances. Okay, let's check. Plotkin wins 6-3 against dampooo. So he's now going to round 3, where he will be facing Take Cubes AK or X Mohex. Interesting matchup as well. Okay, I'll leave it here for today, guys. I don't know when I will be back. It's the Elite Arena Saturday. I will be for sure, but maybe before I will be streaming it again. We'll see about that. For now, I wish you a very good evening. Stay safe and see you next time.